This week, I'm going to lead you through a standing hands-free yoga flow. No downward dogs, no planks, I guarantee. We're going to focus on strengthening the legs, and towards the end, we're going to rest and stretch the legs a bit. Let's get started. The only prop that I would recommend having today is some kind of a towel, or you could have a yoga strap if you have one. We're going to use that in the end as we stretch the legs after our standing flow. So you could just have that somewhere next to your mat and then slowly find your way onto your mat. I would recommend having the screen at the long side of the mat, as we'll be facing the long side quite a lot today. And we're going to start in a mountain pose, in Tadasana pose. So you could bring your feet roughly hip width apart, knees could be slightly bent, and just start by spreading your feet onto the mat, finding those three corners of your feet, finding weight on the base of the big toes, finding weight on the bases of the little toes, and then finding weight on the heels. So each foot having its own triangle. And from your feet, you can start to lift support up towards the inner thighs, up towards the pelvis, towards the spine. And just taking a moment here, you could rock the weight from one foot to the other. Just looking for that initial support and feeling that you can move the weight on your feet. You're not stuck in one place, but there is that ability and capacity to move. And throughout the practice, I would recommend having your feet mobile. So let your feet adjust to what's happening higher up. For example, in your hips, in your knees. So keep your knees, your hips safe. Let your feet adjust. Let your feet move. And then after those little movements, bring your weight to center. What feels like center to you now? And we'll take a few breaths, moving the arms, slightly bending the knees as we start our flow. Arms first down next to your sides. And from there, press your feet to the mat as you inhale, lengthen arms up. You might look up as well. And as you exhale, bring arms sideways down, slightly round your upper spine and bend your knees a bit more. Inhale again, press the feet down, lengthen arms up. And as you exhale, bring the arms sideways down, bending the knees, rounding the upper spine. Couple more times. Inhale, feet pressing down, arms lengthening up. Exhaling, arms come down, bending the knees, rounding the upper spine. One more time with your in-breath, lengthening up. Exhale, bending knees, arms come down. And then just bring your back, your neck, your head up. And now heel toe your feet wider apart, finding open horse pose where your hips are rotated open, feet or the toes slightly pointing out. And as you bend your knees go roughly in the same direction with your toes, so you feel you're not twisting in the knees. From there, extend your legs, pressing the feet down. Inhale, lengthen arms up again. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, bend the elbows and push hands out to the sides like you're pushing walls away. Same again. Inhaling, lengthening up, extending the legs. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees and push hands out to the sides. Couple more times. Inhaling, up, feet pressing down. Exhaling, bend the knees, push hands out to the sides. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling out to the sides, bend the knees. Now keep your knees bent. Inhale, lengthen arms up. As you exhale, bring hands somewhere on the inside of your knees, inside of the thighs. And just gently help with your hands to open the inner legs, so finding a bit of a stretch in the inner thighs. You could rock the weight from one hand to the other. You might still adjust your feet if needed. But just gently opening through the inner legs. Again, make sure there's no twisting in the knees. That would hurt. You can adjust your feet. Take another breath in and out. Bring weight back to center. And then as you inhale, lift yourself up. You can extend the legs. Reach arms up. And then bring palms together in front of the chest. Now we're going to turn towards the right into a high dragon lunge. So turn your both feet, toes towards the short side of the mat. And then as you inhale, lengthen arms up. Extend your legs. Exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest and bend both knees so you're lowering down, but staying in that lunge. Same again. Inhaling, lengthening up. Exhale, bring palms together, bending the knees. 2 more times with the in-breath, extending the legs, pressing the right heel down. Bring palms together, bend your knees as you bring palms in front of the chest. 1 more round with your own breath, inhaling up. Exhale, bending the knees, bring palms together in front of the chest. Now from here, we're going to lift into warrior 3. So really looking for our balance. Slowly start to pull the weight onto your right foot. And then start to hover the left foot off the mat. Now you decide how far you tilt forward into that warrior 3. Looking for your balance, maybe keeping the standing leg knee still bent. And then we're going to stay in this balance and we'll start to move up and down. Now as you inhale, lift your back up, bring left knee towards the chest, and you could lengthen arms up, bringing left knee closer to the belly. We go back into warrior 3. Exhale, kick your left leg back, reach your back forward. You could bring arms next to your sides. Same 2 more times. Inhale, lift your back up. Bring left knee towards the belly, towards the chest. Arms can lengthen up. And exhale back into warrior 3. Reach your left foot and head away from each other. 1 more time. We're going to lift the back up. Inhale, lift the back up. Bring left knee higher up. You can press down through that right foot. And now as you exhale, step your left foot far back into that high lunge. And then we're going to extend the legs, turn back to the long side of the mat. And now heel toe your feet closer together. Bring arms down, bring hands to your lower belly. And take a couple of breaths here in and out. Just check how the weight feels on 2 feet. And let your breath calm down. And then we're going to do same to the other side. So you can open your arms, heel toe your feet wider apart. And we're going to turn into that high lunge on the other side. So now turning towards the left leg. And then you can adjust your feet. We're going to inhale, lengthen arms up. Extend the legs, bring palms together. Exhale, bend both legs. Bring hands together in front of your chest. Same again. Inhaling, lengthening up. Pressing feet down. You can bring palms together overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, lower palms in front of the chest. You decide how deep that bend in the knees need to be. 2 more times with your in-breath, lengthening up. Exhale, bring palms together, bend the knees. Keeping the weight in the center on both feet. One more time. Inhaling, lengthening up. And exhaling, bend the knees, bring palms together in front of the chest. And then we have that warrior 3. So from that lunge, start to pull the weight onto your left foot and slowly start to hover the right foot off the mat. Left knee could still stay bent. And again, you decide how far you tilt towards that horizontal line. Focus on the standing leg, the foot, still those 3 corners of your foot grounded. And then we'll start to move. As you inhale, lift your back and arms up. Bring right knee towards the belly, towards the chest. And then as you exhale, come back into that warrior 3. And now you can bring arms next to your sides. Right foot and head reaching away from each other. Same again. Inhaling, lifting up. Left foot, left heel pressing down. Arms lengthening up. Right knee coming up. Exhale into warrior 3. Keep breathing all the time. Let's do one more full round. Inhaling up. Again, the left knee could be bent. Open the chest. Exhale into one more warrior 3. Keep your neck long, tops of the shoulders free. Then inhale, lift the back, lift the arms up. And from here, we're going to step the right foot far back. Now we're going to find that wide-legged stance. So turn the toes towards the long end, the long side of the mat. But keep your feet wide apart. We're going to go into a forward bend and some twists. As you inhale, lengthen your arms up. Press the feet down. You can bring palms together and exhale, fold forward. So full forward bend. Head could drop down as well. Reach your left hand towards your right ankle or a foot. And then bring right hand behind the back. As you inhale, start to twist your chest towards the right. Not pulling with the arms. The hands and arms are there just for support. We're not putting weight onto that left hand. It's just guiding the back. As you exhale, release that twist. Come back to center. And then same to the other side. Right hand reaching towards the left foot, left ankle. Again, not grabbing. And left hand somewhere behind the back. Inhale, now twist your chest towards the left. You might look up, you might look out to the side, you might look down to the mat. Breathe towards the chest. And exhale, release, come back to center. You could hold your elbows, hang your upper body down. Keep your legs still active here, feet active here. And then slowly, you could bring your fingertips on the mat and start to heel toe your feet closer in. We're going to go into a squat. So we're going to slowly bend the knees into full yogi squat. You can rotate your hips open. You can rotate your feet open. Find a place where you feel that you can keep the weight on 2 feet. It might be that your heels are off the mat. That's very fine. Now you have an option to either balance here so that you have your fingertips on the mat, or we could add a twist. So if you want, reach your right arm out to the right side on the inside of your right knee, and then as you inhale, twist your chest towards the left, either reaching left arm up, or you could bring left arm behind the back. You could even reach your right hand, left hand together behind the right hip. if that feels good. Take another breath in and out. And then if you are in that twist, exhale, come back to center. Bring fingertips on the mat and exhale, lift the pelvis up, let yourself extend the legs for a moment, toes pointing to the long side of the mat. And then we'll come back into that Yogi Squat, and if you want to twist, you'll get a chance to twist to the other side. So one more time, bend the knees, rotate the hips open, finding your Malasana, your Yogi Squat. And then you can either stay here in the center, maybe fingertips on the mat, or we can twist to the other side. So now you can reach left arm to the left side, still on the inside of that left knee, and then inhale, twist towards the right. You could reach the right arm up, or you could bring right arm behind the back. Or you have that third option, reaching hands, fingers together, so that your hands are somewhere roughly behind that left hip. And breathe here in and out, wherever you are. And then as you exhale, slowly release your arms from that twist. And then we're going to come sit down on the mat. So from that squat, bring yourself onto your pelvis. And this would be a good time to find that towel, or if you have a strap, you can use a strap. And we're going to come lie down on the back. And as you are lying down, you could swing the legs a couple of times from side to side. Just allowing movement in the hips. And then we're going to bring legs back to center. And we're going to reach for the towel or the strap. And we're going to bring right knee towards the chest, towards the belly. Bring that strap or towel around that right foot. Left leg can either stay bent, or you might extend your left leg. And then as you inhale, start to send your right leg, your right foot up towards the ceiling. Looking for a place where you feel some sensations. Maybe it's a stretch behind that right leg. But keep the leg active, so you're actively reaching the right foot up towards the ceiling. And if you have the left leg extended, reach the left foot away from your head. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Take another breath in and out here. And then we're going to bend the left leg, if you have it extended. Bring both ends of the towel or strap to your left foot. And now rotate your right hip open into the figure 4 pose. So you can still support your right foot with the belt or the towel. And just gently opening that right leg. Again, you might, with your right hand, just a little bit help that rotation in the right hip, but making sure it's not hurting in your knee. And then we're going to tilt this figure 4 to the side. So start to slowly bring your right foot towards the mat and the outer edge of your left thigh onto the mat. So you keep that figure 4 shape going on, but you tilt it to the side so your right foot finds the floor. I'm still holding the right foot with the towel. So now there's a bit more of a twist, and maybe finding a bit more of a stretch opening around the right buttock, the outer edge of that right hip. So coming from the right thigh to the buttock, maybe to the lower back. You could open the right arm out to the side or bring it overhead. Head can turn to one side or the other. Again, make sure there's no pain in the hip joint, no pain in the knee joint or ankle joint. Take another breath in and out. And then supporting that right foot with the belt or the strap or the towel, bring yourself back to center. Release that right foot. And again, you could swing the legs a bit from side to side, or you might lift both feet up into the air and just kind of shake, kick your feet, your legs up in the air a few times. Just going to relax the movement. And then we're going to do these movements to the other side. So now we're going to bring left knee towards the belly. Right foot either on the mat, or you can extend your right leg. And we'll bring the towel, the strap around the left foot. And if you have a towel, it might be quite nice to kind of really wrap the foot into the towel. And then we start to slowly extend the left leg further, actively kicking the left foot up towards the ceiling. You might have your toes flexed, maybe kicking the ball of the foot up to the ceiling, or the heel, you can play with that. And again, if you have your right leg extended, imagine you're trying to reach that right foot away from the head as well, as if there's floor underneath that right foot. And breathing in and out. So we're not really trying to pull the left leg closer, but more kicking the left foot, the left leg up towards the ceiling, away from the chest. And take another breath here. And then we're going to bend the right knee. So you bring your right foot onto the mat. Bring both ends of your towel or belt to your right hand. And then start to rotate the left hip. So finding that figure four pose. Still supporting the left foot with your prop. And then with the left hand, you can gently help the left hip rotate. So not pushing into the knee, more having your hand close to the hip, rotating through the thigh, not trying to push into the knee joint. And then when you're ready, we start to tilt this figure four onto its side. So now we're going to start to tilt towards the right side, bringing the left foot on the mat. Bring the outer edge of your right thigh onto the mat. And then opening the chest. Again, you might open the left arm away from the legs if that feels good. And see if you can find or get in touch with that left buttock, outer line of the left hip, left thigh, maybe lower back. Again, making sure there's no pain in the joints. Making sure you can breathe. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly supporting that left foot, bring that figure four back to center, back up. You can take that belt, towel away. And again, you could lift your both feet up into the air and just shake the legs, kick the legs a bit. Trying to relax the calves. And then we're going to use that belt or towel for one more pose. Now we're going to bring both knees towards the chest and open legs into a butterfly. And then bring the strap, the towel around the feet. Or here you might even reach for your feet without the prop. And then opening the hips so you turn your knees out to the sides. And you could stay here. This could be a lovely fallen butterfly. Or start to kick your feet away from the chest. So you lift your upper back, your head off the floor. And this could be a really nice stretch for the upper back. Keeping the hips rotated open. Breathe a couple of times in and out. And then slowly, slowly bring your head, your shoulders down. And then you can guide your feet with your strap onto the mat with your towel into a reclining butterfly. And just let go of that strap. And now if you want, you can keep your legs in this butterfly. If that doesn't really feel good for you, just release your legs into Shavasana pose. We have an option to take about 5 breaths here. You could release your arms, maybe bring arms overhead if that's comfortable after holding the belt, so you can relax your hands as well. And then if you are in that butterfly, after your 5 breaths, just slowly start to release that shape, and we're going to find Shavasana pose. If you want, you could bring hands somewhere onto your belly, or maybe one hand on the belly, the other hand somewhere at the bottom of the ribs. And take a moment here. Let your legs, your feet rest. Let yourself notice how they feel now. Let your legs get a bit heavy. And just notice your breath, allowing your breathing to calm down as well. You can send your breaths all the way down to the belly, down to the hips, allowing exhalations to soften, to release. If the legs feel tired now, that is really, really okay. They've been working quite hard. They've done quite a few poses. And then, if you want, you can stay longer in this Shavasana pose. Or if you feel that it would be now a good time to start closing your practice, first bring some movement to your ankles. Circle the ankles, circle the wrist joints, just waking up the hands, the feet. You could stretch arms overhead along the mat, along the floor. Reach your hands and feet away from each other. And then slowly roll onto your side. And bring yourself up into a seat. Find any easy way up into your seated pose. But if you're still happy in that Shavasana pose, just stay there. There's no rush anywhere. And as usual, you might bring your palms together in front of the chest. Before closing the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking some time to move, to breathe. Thank yourself for bringing yourself into your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing the practice. Namaste. Thank you.